Hello, this is our Mexicola avocado tree, which we planted before we knew anything about permaculture. Of course, I did realize that I didn't want to use any chemicals, so this poor tree was starving for a while. Also, I didn't realize that cold hardy referred to a full-grown tree, or a bigger tree, at least a stronger tree, not a tiny little baby tree. And so I didn't protect it at first, and this poor guy almost died. Now he's about 8 years old, and I've learned about permaculture, and I used a lot of wood chips at first, and leaves and branches that I would drag from the forest with mushrooms growing on them, fungi, so that they would start to break everything down. They call mushrooms the teeth of the forest. Now, what you see around this Mexicola tree, of course, it was planted by itself in this open field before. I really don't know how this poor tree didn't die. But now I've planted moringa close to it, which I plan on using as a chop and drop for it, because moringa has so many nutrients. It's a fantastic chop and drop. So is this ginger, whatever this ginger is. It was growing somewhere on my property. I don't really know what it is. I'm located just north of Gainesville, and I inherited this property from my mom, and she was into cultivating all kinds of things. So I don't really know what everything is. This is a Rajpuri banana, which you can see is doing really, really well. I think of bananas, see, because we're not in the tropics, we're in the subtropics, and bananas are not, they'll do really well here and they look beautiful, but they're not huge producers of fruit, not consistently. They'll produce, don't get me wrong, they'll produce. And I have hundreds and hundreds of banana trees on my property, so I get plenty of bananas from them. But I only get bananas pretty much in the fall. I don't get them throughout the year. So I'm not actively trying to get bananas when I plant banana trees close to my other fruit trees, as I do with all of my other fruit trees. I'm starting to. I think of these as great for chop and drop. They're full of water, they're full of potassium, full of nutrients, and in the wintertime they're going to look like they're dead anyway. So basically, why not just use them as chop and drop for the other trees? Use them as a support species. That's basically what I'm doing. That's my idea, to use it just basically as a support species for my other fruit trees. It doesn't really hurt them anyway. It may stop them from producing fruit, but it's in the springtime, this thing will start growing so aggressively again. It'll come back so aggressively that you'll never be able to tell that I did that I chopped it and dropped it. This is a mimosa tree, which they call a invasive tree in this area. However, it is a nitrogen fixer, so I am using it to fix nitrogen for my avocado tree. I do have a lot of what people call weeds around my tree. I no longer care to exterminate all weeds. These weeds, this one is Biden's alba mostly, will be used as a chop and drop as well. You have to remember that nature is perfect, and nature is always trying to repair itself. We're the ones that are constantly making mistakes and doing weird things, and for some reason we've decided that one plant is a weed, one plant is not a weed, and we treat them differently. But the fact is that all of these plants have a use, and of course, the plants that will grow in an area, the weeds that grow in an area, are the plants that nature is using to try and repair itself. So I am okay, baby. She's excited because she's making some juice from our calamandan tree. She had to tell me how much juice she got from the calamandans that she squeezed. She squeezed 35 calamandans in a jar, and of course it's delicious, a delicious drink. I'll make a video about that too. So anyway, yeah. So what you do is you chop and drop the weeds which have leaves, and then to get it to break down just right, you chop and drop the grasses and place them on top of the weeds. As you can see, that's actually what I've done over here with the bananas. I haven't done it as much with the, maybe it's just broken down. I think I did do it also with the avocado. The avocado, of course, I collected a lot of bags of leaves from the side of the road. Ultimately, though, I am going to try and just move away from using mulches from outside the property eventually. I want to be able to use only mulches that are 100% from my own land. That's my plan, to be completely self-sufficient, to be able to live like that, to be able to, as much as possible, you know, not rely on having to use my car to get things from outside. Anyway, I'm not quite there yet. Anyway, I'm still trying to get the power companies or the tree trimming businesses to come and deliver wood chips. So we'll see. But check out all the growth on this avocado tree. This poor avocado tree was tiny for a long time. This last year was the last time that we got quite a few avocados. We had gotten some avocados before, and they are delicious. Mexicola avocados, in case you've never had them. It's a really cool variety that the skin is so thin that you can actually eat the skin as if it were an apple. You don't have to, you know, peel the skin off of them. It's a fantastic variety, very cold tolerant. They say to 17 degrees. I would say it's probably more cold tolerant than that by now. You know, now that it's very well established, healthy, thriving. And one thing that I'm excited about, the animals were coming over here, and we were having a little bit of a competition to see who could get the most avocados between, you know, them and us. We did get quite a few, which was very exciting, and they're quite delicious. But what's cool is they knocked some off too, and nature did its thing. As you can see, a little baby tree coming right there. Of course, you know, they're not exactly true to seed, but hey, you know what? It's increasing the genetic diversity. And although I have to be very patient with it, and I don't know what quality the avocado is going to be, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's, remember in permaculture, one of the principles is use and value diversity. So we just, who knows? It might end up being a fantastic avocado. I'm excited. All right, that's my little spiel here on my avocado tree. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen. We are just about to be hit by a huge hurricane here, Irma. So I kind of wanted to make this video here right before it all kind of looks kind of crazy. I don't really know how strong this thing's going to be, what's going to happen. Here's a little shot of my my little permaculture property. There's my swale and berm. I think I might have just panned through a little bit too fast. I'll go through a little slower now here. I don't really know how to edit my videos or anything, so what I give you now is what you get. Sorry. Maybe I'll learn one day or have somebody help me. Alright.